عيش قليل تو سزعت ليني.
Hi everybody. I want to do a little update on my altar. I actually moved to a new apartment and I'm probably going to do like a little personal update later with some kind of witchy Wicca concepts involved. But first I'm just going to talk about my altar here. So this actually came with the apartment, this shelving here, which I thought was perfect. I mean, I guess from what I've seen of altars, there's just one flat surface, but I do consider this one thing, even though it's three surfaces. And I just really like it. You know, I can just, pop squat in front of it. Everything's accessible and it's just perfect. So, I mean, not much has really changed from my last video of my altar, but I guess I can just maybe do a little update. Maybe more changed than I thought. So here's my book. I did a video on this. I'm just so happy with how this turned out. I think it looks beautiful. The content is great. I am so happy with this book. And I have a few candles lit just because it's a nice ambiance. I actually decided to do a video about my altar because I just got done using my prayer beads for the first time, actually, even though I've had them for a really, really long time. And oh my God, this place is dusty. So I have the candles lit here, and I use them to represent the presence of the god and the goddess. God, goddess. This is lopsided, if you can't tell. I think I'm going to do something to like chop off the bottom a little bit to make it more, to sit more even. But then, like, I lit the candles, but then I kind of thought, that just doesn't seem right. So I think I'm going to write up some verses to kind of put more emphasis in the invoking of the goddess and the god rather than simply lighting the candles. Okay, so here I have my wand. Hasn't changed. I did manage to get the crystal a little more back to how it was. I think I mentioned before that the crystal was kind of lopsided, and it still kind of is a little bit, but I think that's the best I can do. But I love this wand. I know it's like a lot longer than most people's, but I like it like that, actually. And it's got some pretty feathers. This is actually a hair accessory, and I just thought it looked so beautiful on my wand. And I got some rose-colored wire. Yeah, I like it. It looks good. On the second tier, I have the cups for my elements here. In my last video, I had some rosemary in this cup for air. I was doing a spell, and I have since just kind of felt that spell was completed. So there's nothing in here. I know a lot of people will do things like they'll put something that resembles sound or something that's fragrant or something like that. But you know what? Even though it's empty, air is in here. That's enough for me to just see it empty and know that air is in there. Just the cup represents it enough. For fire, I actually have ashes. And some people will use candles, maybe lava rocks. I like using ashes because I think that's really more directly represented and consistent symbol of fire for me specifically. So if I have ashes, this is where I dump them. And here I have water, and I have a little seashell. And actually the water that is in here, I actually poured some of it out to put a tea light in here. That's actually water from the Atlantic. I don't always put ocean water in here. I usually kind of leave that for spells and stuff, but I actually put some ocean water for a special thing for May Eve. And then, of course, Earth is just a bunch of little rocks. Over here is this is like the God side. This is the goddess side. So over here I have my athame. I actually use this just in ritual in general. This has a strong connection with the function of the god. I know that from what I've read, athame is usually something that you use to cast circle, but I actually use my wand. I don't know, it just seems to work for me, but this has a lot of efficacy to me anyway, of representing the god. And actually this is super cheap. I think without shipping, it was like, what, $3 or something? Really dull, you know. Athames are supposed to be dull, I guess, but you know, it works. I guess it doesn't have to be too fancy, but it works. Over here I have a little rose quartz crystal. I've said before, I really don't know about crystals. I mean, I have the quartz crystal on the end of my wand, and I kind of feel comfortable in that sense because quartz crystal is used in electronics, and the idea is to like transfer energy, at least metaphysical energy. So I feel like for me, the quartz crystal point is some validity to it or something, but just this on its own, I don't use this for anything. I said in the past that it kind of represents this represents love, including self-love, and that was something I attributed to masculine divinity or something. I don't know. It looks nice on my altar, so let's just keep it there, I guess. Over here, I have my little cauldron, and I used this in my May Eve ritual. And I had water in there, and it was actually ocean water. And I didn't realize that I kept it in there for whatever reason. And I opened it not too long ago, and it, like, holy crap, it was rusty. And I actually just wiped most of it out. But yeah, I have I have a lot of rust on my cauldron here because I let water just sit. And not just any water, it was salt water. Holy crap. But I use it in ritual, to represent, a tool to represent the goddess. You know, that works very well for me. And I also use it to burn, like, incense and stuff like that. It's not very practical because it's really closed in, but it looks super cool. Like smoke coming out of a cauldron, that's pretty sweet. So, you know, why not? And then I got this guy here. I've shown it before. It's a piece of raw rainbow moonstone, and pretty sure, let me see here. Let me see if I can get, yeah, why bother? Okay. There's like a little bit of blue. I think maybe you can see it a little. Ah, there we go. Yeah, there's a little bit of blue that you can see in the top. It's just so pretty. I am just a big fan of moonstone. Like I said, I'm not like just like a crystal healer type person. But I love beautiful rocks, and they have like a kind of just general meaning behind them, I guess. And of course, moonstone, goddess, you know, fertility and etc., you know, so of course it's got a placehold there. On the bottom, I have my Wicca. My dog just hit me with her toy. This is my little secret stowaway of strange things. It's actually a cigar box that my mom's friend who was from Morocco, she gave it to me as a gift, and it's really super cool. I mean, there's really nothing comedic about anything that I do in Wicca, but, you know, it's pretty, so why not? And then I got my sphinxes here, and I know a lot of people will attribute Sphinx, like, strictly as being comedic, but as you can see, these are Greek sphinxes. But, of course, there's nothing really Greek or Greco-Roman about my practice either. But, of course, I have them here because I'm obsessed with sphinxes. I'll just say that. And, of course, here's my dog. You know, she's a very important part of this altar here. Aren't you, baby? Yes? You're very important? Okay, sorry about that. And then if you notice, I have piles of rocks. And these piles of rocks are rocks that I use to physically create my circle when I cast circle. So it just gives me a visual representation. So I have yellow rocks, air, red rocks, fire. These are blue rocks here, water. And these are green rocks, earth. Yeah, water and earth is it's a little the same, I guess. I'm sorry. Can I help you? She wants to be involved. She always wants to be involved. Then, oh yeah, I have the selenite tea light holder. Oh God, look at it. Look at it glow. Look at that glow. It is gorgeous. Wait, you can't see it really well. Let's put it in the dark a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? I use this to kind of represent the presence of the goddess, I suppose. When I do a full moon spot, it's just, I mean, hello, it's beautiful. I love it. And I actually lit this while I was doing my, working with my prayer beads, simply so I can read it out of my book. So it's just a light source, and I do use it as a light source as well while I'm doing a full moon spot. You know, it's like one of the hardest things is like you want things to be like dark, but then it's hard to read from your book. So you just kind of have to figure things out, I guess. But yeah, I need to clean these shelves. They're super dusty. But that is my altar, or 3-tier altar, whatever you want to call it. And this is my puppy. Say hello. Isn't she precious? Yeah, she is the star of this channel, just by the way. Okay, I plan on doing a more personal video at some point. Maybe in the future, or maybe not. I don't know. But thanks for watching, and blessed be.